Hello, YouTube fans. This is TheSkullKlown. Now, if you can barely hear me, that's why, well, it's the fan, and I want to put headphones on, that way you can actually hear me better, but if I have to do this again, I'll do it again, I don't care. But let's talk about Wario Land. You guys know from the post that put on the community channel, I haven't posted it on Facebook, too, but hey, I'll say this right now. If you're a fan of the Wario Land games, like all of them, then more power to you. Because Wario Land 1 is the best one out of all of them. And the rest fucking suck. They fucking suck. They suck. I, I, I remember playing Wario Land 4, which is, I know a lot of people say it's the best one. I don't see it. I mean, it's a lot better than the one, it's a lot better than 2 and 3, though. I'll say that. If I was going to make a tier list of best Wario Land games, it's Wario Land 1, that's the top, which is the best one out of all of them. Wario Land 4, which I feel like doesn't deserve it anyways, but, well, none of them do. But if I was going to make a tier list, that would be the second one. The other one will be Wario Land 2 under Wario Land 4, and then Wario Land 3. Because Wario Land 3, fuck that one. There's no reason for that. Why are you going to get... Okay, this whole game is all about transformations, these games. Except for Wario Land 1. Wario Land 1 is about the hat. So you have like a jetpack hat, you have a hat that has like a bullhorn on it, and you even have a hat that can throw freaking fire because it's a dragon hat, and it's so fucking dope. And then you got the standard hat basically. So basically you got like 4 hats. The standard hat is basically you just what is it? Kind of like spearing, basically normal spearing. Then the horns is basically you can spear, and then what is it? Do a jump basically. Like you basically can stop on the ground with that one. And then the jetpack. Some people might say the jetpack is overpowered and should have like a meter or something like that. No. That is perfect. That is perfect alone. It's not my favorite type of hat because it's just basically you just ramming just to fly, obviously, which yes makes sense. But it is good to use and it is fun to use. So there is that. But the dragon hat is literally my favorite hat out of all of them. I'm dead serious. I won't be surprised if the people that made Mario 64 DS, you know how you could play as Yoshi, you could switch with the hats, and you could play as Wario, Luigi, or Mario. I think they got that from this game. I could be wrong. Of course, I could be wrong. But I won't be surprised if they were like, "Hey, look at what Wario Land 1 with the hats. Let's put that in Mario 64 for Yoshi." You know. So I mean, it could happen. I'm just guessing. I don't know if that's 100% true, but I wouldn't be surprised because when you play that game and then the 3DS of Super Mario 64, then you'd be like, huh, okay. So I'm playing these games on my DS. I downloaded them on my DS and stuff like that. And the more I played 2 and 3 of Wario Land, I kept just telling myself, I'd rather just play Wario Land 1. The transformations here, like, it sounds great on paper, but the execution sucks. I'll say this right now, though. In a way, it's fun experiment games. Basically, you could tell the Wario games are just fun experiment games, and you know, Wario Land 2 and 3 didn't do it for me at all. And the fourth one, I was just like, well, I'm technically almost done with it, and I'm still kind of frustrated with it. Not as frustrated as 3, especially 3 and 2. Number 3 is literally bottom of the barrel for me. I can't even fucking fathom how shit that is. Are you kidding me? Here, there's even it's even in Wario Land 4 where and some enemy throws something at you and you get fat, and there's no way you could try to, you know how you press buttons so you can actually make it go faster, or you know, to get out of the transformation a little bit faster. Nope, you just gotta sit there and let it go. And sometimes if you just sit there, guess what? It's longer. So you have to move around and stuff like that. And then it wastes. Because if you just stand there, it doesn't do shit. You're like, okay, is the transformation gonna stop? And I'm over here like, is the transformation gonna stop? Game, are you telling me that if I don't move Wario when he's fucking fat as hell and slow as hell, that I'm still going to be like this if I don't move? Are you fucking kidding me? The fuck's wrong with you? That's and then there's an enemy that makes you turn into a zombie, and you need to go to the little light pole, and that's in Wario Land 3, I believe, right? Um, oh, Wario Land 2. I think it's Wario Land 3. But and the thing is, that's not a bad concept. But what what does a zombie do when you become a zombie? When the zombie enemy does something to you, you become a zombie. What does that do? You're slow. You don't even have. It's fine if you're slow, but can you defend yourself? No, no. You just got to go to the fucking goddamn light. It's just a nuisance. And the enemy, and every time you kill the enemy, they just respawn. Most people are like, well, wouldn't old games do that anyways? Um, Wario Land 1 doesn't do that. The only time that happens is when you leave the stage and then go back to it, and then the enemies respawn. When you're there and you killed all the enemies, yeah, they don't come back until you leave the stage. That's smart. That is good game design. What they did in these other Wario games were bad game design. And again, I will give credit where credit is due. They were trying to experiment, and that's fine. But when you look back at these games, and you over here like, no wonder Nintendo hasn't made no more Wario Land games, because the other three games are about transformations, and the first one is just about hats. So what's Nintendo going to do? Nintendo's going to be like, well, there's more of things about transformations here. You know, I haven't, like I said before in my community page, I haven't played Wario World, but it does look fun, and it doesn't do the transformations like they're obviously from the clips I've seen of the game. It's just a normal fighting standalone beat 'em up game basically that looks really cool. For kind of like you have Wario that can do a tombstone pile driver in that game. What? Sign me the fuck up. I want to play that game. To be quite honest with you, more better than fucking goddamn transformations that you can't do shit. Here's a good example of great transformations. Kirby. Kirby. This is kind of like paying homage to Kirby in a way with the transformations. When it comes to the transformations with Kirby, it's not a hindrance. It helps with the gameplay even more. It does. It adds to the gameplay. The transformations that you play in Wario Land 2, 3, and 4 are such a hindrance to the point, maybe not much as 4, because at least you can see what they were trying to do with 4. But at the same time, it's like, I can't believe Pizza Tower was inspired by this shit. And I hope Pizza Tower does better than that shit. Because there was no reason that Pizza Tower looked at these games and they were like, yeah, I'm going to be inspired by them. These are the worst games to be inspired by. Now, if you're looking at Wario Land 1, that's the only game I can literally be like, oh yeah, I can literally see you paying homage to that game like crazy. Because that game deserves it. It does deserve it. I don't think Wario Land 1 doesn't get credit as much it does. I know some people like it, but people always praise Wario Land 4, which I don't get. You know, I mean, the pictures are beautiful. The graphics are fucking beautiful. They are. And you guys know how much I love Game Boy graphics, Game Boy sprites. I fucking love those type of graphics. But it's just, and it's funny too. Obviously, the soundtrack, which is kind of funny, the soundtrack to the Wario games kind of sounds like AVGN video game music, which most people are like, oh, that's not bad. No, I'm talking about like the fault sounds and shit like that. Like, I'm surprised the Angry Video Game Node Games didn't pay homage to the Wario Land games, you know. But I do want to review the AVGN games though. But there is another game that I do want to review eventually. It's called Scooby Doo and Looney Tunes on the DS. I'll get to that game soon. To be quite honest, when I played the Wario Land games 2 and 3 and 4, I'm more like, I want to play the Scooby Doo and Looney Tunes game. And that game is pure crap. It is. It's pure crap. And it will always be crap. Because it's so fucking stupid. It has moments and it has highlights, but they fumbled with that game. Fumbled it so much. But I'm not getting into that game. So, going back to the Wario Land games. Wario Land, when you look at Wario Land 2, 3, and 4, and then you separate it for Wario Land 1, you always hear like Wario Land 1, some people might even call it what, the black sheep or some shit, which it's not, but how will people feel about it when they see three other games that do the transformations and one that just does hats? And the thing is, what's more appealing to you? Do you want hats that have abilities, or do you want to do transformations? Transformation sounds fucking appealing, but again, it's all about the execution. The execution fucking sucks, man. It fucking sucks. And some people might be like, "Have you played the WarioWare games?" Uh, I'm sorry. I was actually kind of upset when Nintendo decided to make Wario into minigame shit. I'm not saying the games are shit. I'm just saying I don't think Wario should be that. Make a whole other new character, in my opinion. Not to say it didn't work with Wario. Look at all the other characters. Hey, we did got Ashley, who's that girl living in the haunted mansion. That's an awesome song. Without the Wario Land series, we wouldn't have that. So I do give praise to that because that song is a catch. It's fucking awesome. Again, I haven't played the Wario Land games. I mean, the Wario Land, the WarioWare games. But that song and that character is great, and you can make her in Super Smash Brothers. So it's perfect. And every time I play Super Smash Brothers Ultima, and I'm fighting her, I always go to that Wario stage and I put that song on. Who's that girl living in the haunted mansion? You better know my name, cause it's Ashley. Yo, come on, man. Oh, it's just really good, man. That song is just so good. Could we just talk about that for the whole video? That right there is better than fucking Wario Land 2, 3, and 4, man. Who knows? Maybe Ashley was in these games. I probably would have played it more. um, there is multiple endings with these Wario games, which are highlights. They're highlights. Um, because it's all about getting money in these games. Mostly, well, at least the first one and the fourth one. I can't really remember with. Well, actually, no. Yeah, all the games are you just trying to get money, basically. Because it depends what type of ending you will get. If you have a lot of money, you get a good ending. If you get money, you probably will get a bad ending or a decent ending, depending how the game is. Sometimes if you get mediocre money, the game will just be like, well, I guess you just suck. And I'm over here like, damn. You think this is a little bit? Damn, greedy motherfucker. But it makes sense with Wario, right? So, but it's just the transformations in these games. Like, okay, there's a plant villain in Wario Land 4 that's like one of the bosses. And to be honest, that boss is not bad. It isn't bad. There's just one flaw with that boss. When he drips saliva, you and it lands on you, you slow as fuck. And then a little freaking bee or a fly comes out and you need to go right next to it. And I don't know if it's just I don't know if it's just the DS trying to cope with the game, but I could barely hit it. I could have barely hit the fly to go back to my Wario state to freaking beat the boss. It didn't happen to me too much on that plant boss, but when it did happen to me, I'm over here like, this is shit. This is complete shit. You made a boss that was fun into complete a disaster bullshit. How did you do that? How did you take a plant monster that literally reminds you of Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors and fucked it up? Literally, like, come on, man. Come on. I'm all for plant monsters, obviously. What do you think I love about Biolante from Godzilla? By the way, we should see Biolante in the Monsterverse, please. Alright? I don't want fucking Destroyer yet. Give me fucking Biolante. Alright? And maybe Mega Godzilla could come back. If not, could we get Mega King Ghidorah? Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Seriously. Or maybe make a new King Ghidorah. Dry Bone Ghidorah. It's a thought. It's a thought. You know. I mean, I wouldn't mind. It's already been hinted that he's from outer space, anyways. So might as well, you know. So moving on. The if you again going back, if you guys like these games, that's fine. I'm happy that you guys enjoy these Wario Land games. I really do. It's just that don't expect me to literally look at these games and think that they're good, except for Wario Land 1. You know? At least with Wario Land 4, I can actually, oh, I don't know, almost beat it. Or at least progress through it. In the other two games, I can't progress for shit. I can't progress for shit. And I'm over here like, and it's not like I'm not trying. Of course, I was trying so hard. So fucking hard. For crying out loud, Wario Land 1 is pretty freaking challenging, right? But I can get right through it, you know? And it's the biggest flaws with these games is just that the transformations are just a big hindrance. And it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way, man. It really shouldn't. If you think so, then you should not fucking make games to begin with, man. Seriously. The whole point about being a video game is for you to have fun with the game and fun with the gameplay. And if there was something, that's why in the Mario games they give you an item to complement the gameplay. That's why in Mario Land 1 they gave you fire what is it I can't, why am I staggering here? The fire flower. And then Mario Land 3, guess what they gave you? The frog suit, the Tanuki suit. They even got the I keep, why am I fucking up with the I want to say Firefly every time. I do not know why I want to say Firefly. It's fire. It's it's plant fire basically. Good God, I can't even fucking say it right, man. I don't even know these fucking items now. What the hell? Getting fucking dumb fucked here for no reason. And it's because this is what these games do to me, man. This is what the Wario Land games did to me, man. They fucked up of my enjoyment and my imagination to a lot of these fucking items and all these abilities. But again, going back in Mario Land, in the Mario games, even in Mario Land, when they give you a power up, it wasn't a hindrance. Remember that? Um, remember the what was it? The cat, the bunny eels. Yeah, you had to get a carrot, and then Mario gets rabbit eels. That's a great power up. The carrot power up. You know, I believe it's a carrot. It should be a carrot. Imagine you just hit the block and it's just rabbit eels. I'm like, just make it into a carrot. Who are we fooling here? It's better to be a carrot, to be honest with you. Plus, it would be more better with sprite walking. You won't have to take a lot of resources out just to make something like that. Because you'd be surprised if you just making a drawing and then putting in pixels and all that really takes a lot of resources from the game, obviously. So that's why in Wario Land 1, Mario was so fucking goddamn tiny because they couldn't figure out how to make them pretty large because they were still trying to learn the tech. And then by Wario Land, well, no, it's true. By Wario Land 1, they already got it pretty standing stone. You know, it was pretty good. So the so anything else I could talk about with the Wario Land games before I just keep babbling for no reason? Um, I think that's it. These games should have been fun. At least for me, they should have been fun. They should have progressed. And you know what's fucked up too? When you look at the title screen of Wario Land 4, they have, at least I believe, they have the symbol of the dragon hat on top of the logo of Wario Land 4. Just look on top of look on top of the thing that's used for the font, the thing that's surrounded by the wards, and it looks like the hat dragon that you use in Wario Land 1. So even if you didn't know about the transformations going in, you probably would have saw that title and you would have been like, "Oh, cool! There's hats in this game. Oh, that's cool. Finally, they brought it back. Oh, someone had the decency to bring them back. Maybe you can use the hats and then do some type of transformations with the hats. That would be cool." Nothing. 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 You could have expanded on the hats. The hats could have been a great point for transformation. You know, but no. There's certain enemies in the game, they're just there to hinder you to stop your progress through the game. And that's not good game design. It's not. It's not good game design. It isn't. For crying out loud, going back to Wario Land 3, where that area where the zombie is at, and then it hinders you, there's another enemy that catches you on fire. So after that zombie thing, you're like, okay, I got out of it. Then when you go down to look at other things, that like I said, when you kill the enemies, they don't truly die at all. Technically, Wario doesn't die either. He just it stagnates. He just goes like this, and I'm over here like, that is the definition of someone taking my game away for 5 minutes and then bringing it back to me. Then another 5 minutes and then bringing it back to me. Then another 5 minutes and bringing it back to me. You know how annoying that shit is? That's annoying. That's fucking annoying. And don't tell me that it's not. Don't tell me that it's not. Don't kiss the ass of these games just because you grew up with them. I grew up with a lot of games that I like. But then I figured out, years gone by, and I figured out that some of these games are not as good or not as memorable, or some things could have been fixed or tweaked. I'm playing through Pokemon Red right now. And the biggest hindrance with Pokemon Red and all these old Pokemon games is the grinding. And I don't mind grinding. You know me, I'm a grinding alcoholic. But the game doesn't tell you that, yeah, you could use your Pokemon, like basically, you know how you use your Pokemon in that game? Basically all the Pokemon games. What you're supposed to do, obviously, which I already knew from a long time ago as a kid. But what you need to do is that you have Pokemons, right? So to level them up or to be good what you're doing with the game, at least, you use the Pokemon to either hinder the other Pokemon or attack it. Then you switch to that other Pokemon, and if they have something to hinder it or attack it, then use that too, basically. Um, that's how it's supposed to be, basically. That's how you're actually supposed to play Pokemon, by switching Pokemons, basically. Because a lot of people just stick to one and level grind it to the point that, I'm just going to stick to this one, and the other ones could just be I could just grind them later on. And the one thing too about these old well, they were old back then, and it wasn't really much of a concept back then. All the characters leveling up together, all your Pokemon leveling up together. Even going back, when you look at the old Pokemon games, you know that it has flaws, but you still love them. But that is one of the biggest hindrances of that game for anyone to go back to it, to be honest. But it's not that bad, to be quite honest with you. The old Pokemon games like Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, all fun. They're all fun, and still highly recommend playing them. So, and only playing those games because after playing the other ones, they're either remakes or complete dog shit. So just it's not worth it. It's not worth it. That's why I stopped playing Pokemon a long time ago because to me it's just the same crap, and I'm just like, we're just adding new Pokemon in, and that's it, and maybe new anime waifus for people, and that's it. You're just following a trend and not changing and not making the trends. Just no, that's not how it should be. So th- that's it. I do wish that we get another Wario Land game, but closer to the first one. You know, maybe they can look at Wario World and then Wario Land 1 and probably try to put them together in a way. Because that'd be cool. Imagine wearing a hat, but doing all these moves. And then you could still, the diversity of moves that Wario could have would be so awesome. And it'd be the same thing as Mario. So it'd be really good. It'd be really cool just to see that. They don't have to do that, but it'd be nice. It'd be nice to see if they could do something like that. So this is TheSkullKlown signing off. Have a nice day, guys. Have a swell day. Keep cool. Obviously, seriously, it is hot out there. It is summer, but keep cool. And keep on gaming, basically. And it's just that, again, going back, if you like these games, cool, more power to you. I'm so happy that you like them. Me, I'm over here like, get the fuck away from me. Not for you if you like the game, but I'm talking about the games themselves. I'm over here like, what the fuck am I playing? What the fuck am I playing? For crying out loud, I don't play. I don't. This is not Super Mario Brothers, the Lost Levels. When you in the first level, when you hit a mushroom and the mushroom goes up, and you're like, okay, here we go, and then you instantly die. You know, imagine that happen. Imagine that happening in the original Mario game. Like even if you get the fire leaf, the fire up, basically, it's just gonna when you get the fire power up. Imagine since you get the fire power up, your health starts decreasing, 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 and if you keep using it, your health decreases even more, or you just automatically die if there was like a health ball or some shit for Mario in the first Mario game. Because there isn't. Mario is the health ball itself, which I always thought was fucking badass and cool. And it's the same thing in the Wario games, but it's kind of hard. In Wario Land 1, because I think because since the other ones, Wario can't die at all. So in this one, in Wario Land 1, you can die. There is consequences. And in the other ones, it's like Wario doesn't die. Okay, cool. But is there a consequence? No, it's just if you lose, basically, you get you go back basically. Not to say you don't die in Wario Land 4. Yeah, you could die in Wario Land 4. It just in Wario Land 2 and 3 you can't die. From what I played, you just can't die. At least in Wario Land 4 you could die. There was that. And Wario Land 1. But in Wario Land 1 it's so much better. It really is because they're using the whole Mario aspect. You know, in Mario Brothers 3, when in Japan, when you get hit, you just go back to Little Mario. But when they gave it to us in America, it was like if you had a power up, the power up is gone, then you just become Super Mario. Then you get hit again, you become regular Mario, basically. When you really think about it, Mario is just a really, really tiny person. Either that or he's in a war that's fucking gigantic as fuck, which makes sense, you know. But I wish they picked that in the movie. I wish they did. Imagine Peach. I mean, kind of loud because if you have little Mario right next to Peach, Peach is like this, while Mario's like this. To kind of loud, Peach is a fucking Amazonian goddess, and I'm all here for it. But moving on. I'll see you guys later, man. Be safe. Tell me what you guys think about these Wario Land games. Tell me which one do you like the most, and tell me which one you like the least. So, I'll see it. I want to mention this too. In Wario Land 1, when you're a small Wario, he has a mohawk. He has a mohawk. This guy has a mohawk. And then when he's Super Wario, basically, he has full fledged hair like Mario. But when he's tiny, he shaved that shit and it became a mohawk. And I'm over here like, how is that possible? Huh? I guess when enemies hit you, your hair falls off. Oh man, now that would be a nice transformation. No, someone's gonna be like, "Oh, that's shit." Yeah, just like in the Wario Land sequels. Yeah, and that's how I'm gonna end it right there.